What's up, folks? This is Heavy Hitters Radio
He got
Show.
louder. He's talking about I'm in this tone the whole show.
I already told you I'd be a little louder, man.
Switch up early.
Hey, what's happening, man? This is the Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. This is Moose, a.k.a. Big House, man. I'm the host of this show, man. I'm so blessed to be a part of the team. You like that? You like that?
Yeah, I like that, man.
That's new shit. Right? Oh, pineapples already.
Wow.
I say blessed and then cuss, like right after.
That's exactly who you are in a nutshell.
Hey, we're here, man. We are at Kruger's. Matter of fact, I look
It
up.
never failed.
Yep, sirens.
It doesn't matter where
Welcome,
we
we're
are.
outside tonight.
It doesn't matter where we are.
Dude, we've been sitting for at least 30 minutes.
At least,
Yes.
but you put it this way, you got garlic sauce on the tip of your nose.
It's true.
Thank you.
She just came with the napkins. You got garlic sauce on the tip of your nose, and then
The sauce
boom.
is good. It's delicious.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Garlic aioli for the fries.
Look, garlic aioli. That's the name of it.
I
It is
like
good.
aioli.
Oh, man.
And the aioli is just a fancy word for mayonnaise.
No,
A
it's
real fancy word.
snazzy mayonnaise, though.
Yeah. So,
Oh, you definitely gonna need it.
hey man, that voice you hear, and he almost choked on his garlic aioli. That's the one, the only LGZ Mbaku.
Conda forever, man.
How you doing,
Man,
man?
life
You good?
is good, man. Life is real good, man.
I'm all of a sudden tickled.
Yeah.
I'm all of a sudden tickled.
Jeezy
'Cause
does that to
I
you a
looked
lot.
at you and like the tip of your nose and just a little speck, and I look over and I look.
We all,
Hey
we all
man,
back.
y'all over here.
This aioli is so disrespectful.
Y'all over here at Kruger's grubbing.
No, we both
Y'all got
delicious.
aioli
Delicious.
everywhere.
Man, we
It looks like
Somebody shot me in the beard with aioli.
yes, you have aioli all over your face and
got
chest.
an aioli shot. Only on you, porn.
All right, so yeah, that is radio
Oh,
show, man.
man.
Hey, I decided today on the way here that I'm gonna use DJ Longgreen's DJ name because he is a full-fledged DJ, and we need to do as much advertising for him as possible. So it's
Thanks, man.
DJ Longgreen, DJ Longgreen.
What
That's
What
his
is
name,
happening?
man.
What is happening? Y'all?
And man, he has aioli all over his face. right?
Everywhere.
Man, all in my beard, all
On
on my
the
cheeks.
shirt.
It's
like-
good though, right? This is delicious, man.
The aioli had its way with me.
Hey man, you know what? I might need to take a picture of that with the. With
Probably
Yes.
not.
Yes.
No, with
Yes,
the thing.
it's
with
perfect.
The, no,
With
you
your
need
napkin.
it, man. I think we need it, man.
Yes.
So,
I'm feeling like Tierra Marie here.
hey man, so hey, I'm glad you're here, man. It's all good.
I missed y'all last week.
I know.
And
All as well.
typically, I would announce the lady of the show earlier, but I mean, holy cow, these guys are a mess.
They
Literally.
are
Yeah, they got aioli all over their
All over
face.
the place.
everywhere. And they're not done yet, is the
Hey,
thing.
so
not done.
so we got the lady of the house, man. Her name is Run.
MC.
Jesus saying this with his mouth full. Happy Tuesday, guys. Man, and it's nice out. And
Man,
girls can wear sundresses again. Like, it's
Hey.
wonderful. Welcome. Welcome to the world, April.
I'm not
nice
gonna,
to see you.
I'm not gonna kill you. That I like sundress weather, but it's not quite there yet.
hold on.
It is during the day if the sun is
like
out.
We need a
270
picture
today.
on our social media that says sundress or yoga pants.
I'm good. All in.
What if you have to choose one or the
Yeah,
other?
you gotta choose one.
All in. My answer is all in every
I'm
single
going
time.
sundress.
I don't care what you wear on that.
For my personal fashion, I'm choosing sundress. It's much cooler than yoga pants.
Sundress.
All right, hey man.
Easier access with sundress.
It's the Heaviest Radio Show, man.
Also that.
And, the name of today's show is called what did we say?
No support.
No support, man.
Oh, I got all kind of news today, man.
Oh, well, good.
I
good.
feel great. I actually done some research for the show.
I'm
Shout out to
I'm
Mike
proud
Epps,
of you.
man.
I'm proud of you. Hey, matter of fact, when you talk about Mike Epps, in our segment, which is called Run,
That news.
and
Tell me why you mad, son. Where are we going? Brews and reviews.
Bruce Reviews, I'm going to talk about The Trap. I actually watched it from beginning to end.
The Trap.
The Trap is a show. It's Mike Epps and T.I. Tip Harris. It's on Netflix.
People for sure.
Don't move it perfect.
I know, man.
He
You're a
seems
mess.
like really enjoying his meal.
You're a mess.
I love people.
Hey,
Burger was a
so
wild
hey, I
choice.
watched it. I watched
good.
it, man. So I watched the whole movie. I watched.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad.
You have.
I can't wait for all the
Hey,
listeners
hey, folks,
to see this.
Folks, I apologize.
I love it.
There is hamburger everywhere.
Well, and D'Lo's he's catty corner from you, so you just catch a whiff every now and
I
then.
look up and I just see hamburger.
And then you get distracted.
That's the problem with a full beard.
It's like straight out the side. It's wonderful.
All this meat.
No, it ain't
going
only.
where it
In
wants with me.
and
It's
around
not
your
only this
mouth.
time.
Really?
It's
It's
the
like
meat.
breadcrumbs.
It's straight crumbs in your
It's the
stuff.
meat and aioli in and around your mouth.
No, you have pigeons.
Living right
Right.
here.
D'Lo, why didn't we put ornaments in your beard this year for Christmas? I heard that was the thing. We should have done it.
We're doing it in 2019.
Can we hide like Easter eggs in it? Easter's almost here.
And apparently, you can hide quite a few things in there.
Look at that
This
boy.
is
Look at that
wonderful.
boy right
I love
there.
it.
Oh man,
Are you
that cannot be posted.
Yes,
Come
I
on,
can't
man.
wait. I
That's
cannot
completely
wait for this.
bad for business.
No, it's not, man. You do. You know what? You smashing. You smashing a Kruger's burger, man. Hey, folks.
With a fork and a knife.
It looks
Still
like
this
the Kruger's
messy.
burger is smashing me.
Hey, folks, man. Heavy Hits Radio
It
Show,
is.
man. We're getting our grub on. So here at Kruger's, I had to. Somebody should be looking up the address. I had the andouille sausage with red beans and rice, and it's amazing. For appetizer, because I like to get my vegetables in, I had some asparagus with like butter and lemon sauce. And by the way, I have the enzyme, so there's gonna be some funny smells coming later. That's hilarious.
It
And
happens.
then we also had a large meatball. All right, large meatball. And then the rest of the crew had looks like, is it double cheeseburgers?
It was a bacon cheeseburger, but it was double and delicious with the most fabulous aioli I've ever had.
Aioli, what kind of aioli? Garlic?
It
or
was
something?
garlic vinaigrette aioli, which I was not super pumped about when I read it, but it was so good.
And the address is
323 North Delaware.
323 North Delaware, folks.
If you know where Wild Eggs is, we're catty corner from that.
Yeah, it's right on Delaware, and
Up the
it's,
block from the Wheeler Mission.
yes.
Also near the Tap is where I was gonna go.
Trap. Is Rub House
The
around?
Tap, the Tap, TAP.
Hey, folks.
Tap.
All right, so hey, check this out. So Ron already talked about some of the segments of the show that we got going on. We also gonna talk about, as we talked about relationships, man, and support. And you know, there's so many women out there posting, posting like kind of ridiculous stuff about. There's a lot of pretty women out there posting about the fact that they can't find a man.
We call it sympathy porn.
And so what's it called?
Pineapples.
Pineapples. Sympathy porn. And
Sympathy
so,
porn.
yes, ma'am.
Do you want another beer, man?
No, thank you.
And so we are going to talk
back.
about this. We're going to talk about this now. You guys ready?
Yes, let's do
All right.
this.
So I want to jump right into sympathy porn. Actually. All right. So there is a situation, or with the advent of social media, everybody can say how they're feeling right when they're feeling it.
Exactly when they're feeling it.
All right. So there's a situation where women, it doesn't matter if they're pretty or not, but most women are posting. Jeezy,
What prompted this for me this week was also a post, and it had like a desert, and at the bottom it says my DMs, and another one was like an empty park. It said my text messages. Another one was like an empty pool. It said my Snapchat, and then another one was like an empty, gymnasium or something. And it said my Facebook, whatever, symbolizing how no one talks to this person. And I'm thinking to myself, so then in the comments, it was literally like 100 comments of thirsty dudes, like
The thirst trap.
the thirst trap. That's exactly his thirst trap.
should have called it that.
The thirst trap. So all these guys talking about, So I'm pretty sure her DM was blowing up at that particular moment, just so she can reject. So I just chimed in. I was like,
Wait. So you can do what?
Reject.
Reject
them.
not
So-
open them,
So you
Yeah.
feel like she set
delete
the
them,
trap.
block them.
Yeah.
You feel like she set the trap
Yeah.
to reject the men.
We reject. Yeah. That's how it always is.
It's a ploy for
Alert the
attention.
press. I agree with Jeezy.
It sets it up to where all these guys can hit her up and she can be like, no, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
While getting all
To make you
these
feel
compliments.
but you know what it is? It's a dopamine shot. Shot of dopamine. It's addictive. So it's
Explain
like
that.
I get a whole bunch of comments, I get a whole bunch of likes, and then all of a sudden I feel good about myself
Right.
using the energies of
Is
others.
she still lonely?
It'll last for a little bit, and then she'll come up with another thirst trap picture. You know,
What's the reason that these women are so lonely? I mean, Ron, you can answer that question, or Jeezy.
I'll let you one.
I would say there's one of two reasons, and it's probably both. Number one, they're probably crazy. If they are posting things like this on social media, then like something in their brain needs that attention, and so if they were to be in a relationship, then they would find things to be wrong because they are people who need attention, and so if everything's just cool, they're not happy. I also think that we have just evolved into this society that will only value things that happen on social media. And so if my friends are all getting likes and they're posting things like this, then why wouldn't I also do it? And then it almost becomes a competition, like, well, I got more comments than you, or well, I have more DMs. But then as soon as they go to look at these messages, they're going to be like, he's a creep. I can't believe this creep's messaging me. So it's the attention. They want attention.
It's all attention.
All right, so I hit up the big sis this morning, and I told her about our conversation, Jeezy. And I said, Jeezy, you know, she's like, what y'all gonna talk about tonight? And I told her, you know, and she's like, all right. So, you know, and I told her what my rebuttal was. What my joke was. I said, and you guys are gonna trip out on this. I said, I feel like women. I said, Jeezy said, pretty women post, I ain't got no man, I ain't got this, that, or the other, right?
Yeah.
I said, my rebuttal was, you know what pretty women want? They want the body of Superman. Mm-hmm. They want the money of the non-presidential Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. You know, or whoever, you know, whoever rich guy. Mm-hmm. They want the degree of a doctor. Mm-hmm. They want a home, but he has to be at home. Mm-hmm. And they want the face of Idris Elba.
Mm-hmm. And they want to be famous like an athlete.
Right. And so the big sis said, why you gotta talk about black women? I knew you was gonna have a cow about it.
How did she make that leap?
I said, I would like to say, I said not zero thing about black women. I said pretty women.
Yeah,
Pretty women encompasses everyone.
Everyone.
She said, but you use the face of Idris Elba, and he must be like his sister. And it was like almost a fight between us because I'm like, no.
I don't know who that person is. So if that represents the Pilgrim women, then maybe I'm not included in your assessment. I don't know who that guy is.
The reason I used
Who is
Idris
it? Okay.
Elba
Maybe I should know the name.
is because he's the only brother that I've ever known that has been possibly cast
it's the most American people.
as most American people would say, oh, I like him because he was almost James Bond. He was almost 007.
What? No, I don't think. Somebody show me a picture.
And so there's no way.
Oh, I do know who he is. What
There's
else is?
I know
He has
him.
long hair and something. He has long gray locks and something. Who is
that's
he?
in Thor. He's
in Thor.
Yeah. Okay, I'm all
the
caught
thing
up.
is, we all know him as Stringer Bell
Yes.
from The Wire.
The Wire. But I mean, you know, he was like people's, you know, most handsome man like a couple years ago.
Yeah, he's super hot.
So, but the big sis was like, and then you know she said,
She went straight to why you gotta be about black women.
She
It
said,
that
she
was
said, why
not.
I gotta be black women? I said, it's not about black women.
It's not.
It doesn't have
It's
anything to do with that. It has women in general, because there is pilgrim women and there's
The people
black
I'm talking
women.
about are pilgrims.
And
They're putting these posts up.
here's the issue, though. So I feel like my synopsis is correct. They want this, that. You know,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
To be like their ultimate.
Yeah, so that's why it never happened.
That's why they're so lonely.
That's why they're
No, it's not
lonely.
really that happens. But see, but the thing is, in general, this always gets me in trouble, but women in general aren't happy. I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna break it down for you.
No, let's hear
God bless you with perfectly fine eyebrows. What do? They cut them some bitches off and draw them back in. Think about that for a second. Your eyebrows are just obsolete. They're
They're not obsolete. They keep things out of your eyes.
yeah, they serve a purpose.
They serve a purpose.
It serves a purpose.
These jokers like, you know what? I don't want that. I want to cut these off and draw some new ones in.
Right.
Because you're not
Or
happy.
you tattoo them on your face.
Or you tattoo them on your face.
That's a new thing.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, it's called microblading.
Yeah, they tattoo their
So
eyebrows.
Oh, I
it's
seen
like
that. Okay, yeah.
it's like they take a scalpel and they do little slits and then dye it
Yeah,
so
I'm not
it
happy with
looks
myself.
like hairs.
I'm not happy. You know what? Women with big booties, my booty too big. I want to lose it.
No,
Women with big
people don't
booties,
say
what they
that.
say?
Yeah, that's sad,
I'm
man.
gonna have a
That's
breast
not real.
reduction.
I hate
'cause my
breast
boobs
reductions.
is too big. So women who don't got boobs want boobs. Women with the boobs don't want them.
That's true.
Women who get attention don't like attention. Women who don't want attention get attention. Don't want. They're not happy, man. That's the whole point. That's the whole general thing is you never make them happy, man. Never. So the key for men, what you realize as a man, less is more, man. The less you do, because you gotta realize this, the code is this: women want what they can't have. So the more you become unobtainable,
Yeah, the more they want
the
you.
more they want you.
Also, make her laugh and then it's fine.
No, that's part
You
of
don't
it.
have to
True.
go out of your
That's
way.
true.
You know,
Make
like,
her
right?
laugh.
Yeah, but you know,
You can actually be more asshole than comedian and get the
bam,
desired result.
bam.
Well, that depends on the type of girl that you're looking for.
Now, I will say a large, but I won't say all, but it's a
I would
large
agree,
percentage.
a large portion.
And if you notice, if you have female friends, they
But
always
she's gonna be
complain. They're
mad.
always complaining.
She's gonna be mad about.
Always.
She's gonna be mad about your assholeness later, though. If that's how you get her, like
But
later,
if
it will
she,
turn on
If she
you.
met me that way, then that's what she has to
No,
expect.
later it will turn on you. I'm
then,
just telling
then that's
you.
her problem right there. If she
I'm just
expects
But the
telling
thing
you.
that she
is,
can come
as an
into my
asshole,
life
I
and
don't care.
change me, then that's her problem. I became her mission, and she's got the problem if I don't stop
But the
being an
thing is,
asshole. Because I'm obviously comfortable in my asshole.
There you go. So if you mad,
I
I
like
really
that we've
don't care.
turned this into a new word. I like it a lot. Assholeness.
Huh?
I like this new word that we've created. Assholeness. I like it.
Yeah. So the whole point is, she can be mad, but guess what? You're an asshole. I don't care.
I've been an asshole.
I really don't care.
So
You probably don't.
All right, so
I don't.
all
That's who
right,
you
so
are.
so I got a question for you guys. So like in that type of situation, do you change? I mean, do you have some sort of conversation with her, like, yo, like,
I think as far as society, it's so far gone now. The genie, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Like, it's over with. Like, for society right now, we need the internet to crash for like a year or 2 years to get people back on track.
Yes.
And that ain't gonna happen.
that? You
A
know
hard
what?
reset.
If
There
that
was a
happened-
girl crying because Instagram deleted her page. She cries that her life is over.
There are 13-year-old girls who I coach, and they will delete their post if it doesn't get enough likes.
Yeah, that's what we are.
If the internet crashed right now, I
Jeezy
feel
would
like
be fine.
I feel like there'd be a lot of people that would probably off themselves. One,
Oh
Probably.
yeah.
I believe there'd be a lot of people that would need some sort
Hold
of
on. Not even the internet, just Instagram.
or Facebook.
It could just be
whatever.
Instagram and
Instagram
Facebook
was
that
down.
go away.
Instagram was down last week for about a couple of hours.
Facebook was down at the same time, and people were losing
Losing.
I didn't
their
even know.
minds.
Yeah, I didn't even know
When
it
was
was.
it? I didn't know.
I mean, it was probably 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, about a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
it
people
went down.
were losing their minds.
losing their mind because it was down.
And then nobody could post about it because neither platform was working. So then again, it was this other heightened sense of anxiety. Like, I can't check anything, I can't post anything, and I can't even complain about it because neither platform's working.
Yeah, that's
It
crazy.
was crazy.
That's what we got in society. As
People were super
books
upset about it.
which go on their respective devices right now.
Yep.
Say what?
You two are on your phones right now.
No, you know, I'm looking. I'm talking to big.
I think it was like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, 3 weeks ago.
I'm
I
talking
mean,
to Big
it
Gangster,
made
so
national news.
Yeah.
It made national news that the platform
And nobody
crashed.
probably saw it because they don't watch TV.
Well, and here's the thing. It crashed like during the workday.
Right.
Go to work.
Go to work. Do your job.
Go to work, go to school, whatever you're supposed to be doing
Those
between the
are-
hours
those
of
are
8 and
good-
But
4. Do
people
that.
don't realize that getting likes and getting the thumbs up is the equivalent to gambling and sex. It's a shot of dopamine.
what?
You didn't know that?
Where'd you see that at?
Yeah, it was a guy who talking about
That's
how
nuts.
it's a shot of dopamine. Like every time you get a like, you get a hit of dopamine, and dopamine controls like your
I know what dopamine does.
I can
You
see
know
it
what
being
really
equivalent to
surprises
like
me?
a hug.
No, gambling like the same excitement you get from gambling.
I don't like
The
gambling.
same excitement you
It's
get.
not the same.
Well, it is the same shot you
If
get.
you
not
like
the same
that
for
attention. But, the thing that surprises me about it is that even as a lot of these women who seek likes get older, the habit still continues, so there,
and I
there are
think
women
it
in
will.
their late 30s and 40s who are actively seeking likes and seeking the attention.
Yes.
And I think it becomes even more of a desperation ploy for them because they recognize they are getting older and they start feeling that insecurity of their options being less and less, and the likelihood of being this pretty princess is slowly dwindling.
Right. It's slowly doing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I get social media. I mean, we obviously utilize social media a lot. Right now, I'm talking to Big Gates on social media. There's a lot of people that listen to us via social media. We're on podcasts. Matter of fact, please name all the stuff we're on. Ron, you can do
Yeah.
that.
We're on Instagram at Heavy Hitters Radio
That was real
Show.
country right there.
You like that?
That was
Mine?
country.
Was it? Sometimes it comes out.
we're
Instagram.
on Instagram.
Sometimes it just comes
Man.
out. Usually it's when I say soup or feet.
Man, Whitestown
It's that
came
good
out.
Hoosier twang.
That's how I grew up, but that's okay.
Wow. I never heard that before. Like Instagram.
Sometimes it just happens.
All right, go.
Okay, so we're on Instagram at Heavy Hitters Radio Show and Facebook at Heavy Hitters Radio Show. We are also on Twitter.
And heavy.
Underscore.
Hitters.
Underscore. That was weird. You can message us on any of those platforms during or after the show, and we'll get back to you for sure. If we're still live, we will comment on the air. Otherwise, we'll just message you back.
And then Jeezy, where can you catch our shows, man?
Man, actually, man, the easiest way now is go to Spotify. If you got Android, Google Play, Google Podcasts, we on there. And also, if you got iPhone, iTunes. If you want to listen to us live, go to independentradio.com. Spreaker.com/independent radio.
INDY Pendant Radio.
Yes.
That's us, man. All
So,
right,
now,
guys.
I think as far as men, 'cause I don't want to seem like it's one side. I want to, I think men use social media as more of a form of, I don't want to say hunting, but it's more.
There's an element to
Lurking.
it.
It's an element. I mean,
Leering.
I don't think.
Meerkatting.
I don't think we get the same. At least for me, I can't speak for everybody. I think for me, I don't get the same excitement if somebody don't like my post. It's my opinion. You can like it or not. You can comment on it or not.
Right.
Whatever. But the thing is, as me, I know that Facebook and Instagram is an algorithm. So half the people won't even see what you post anyway. I don't know why people get mad because half the things you post. Matter of fact, dare I say, 75% of the things you won't. The things you post, 75% of the people won't even see it.
Right.
Because if you think about it, if you go on your Facebook friends list, you might have 1,000 friends, but you only see like the same 8 or 9 people comment. I mean, the same
True.
8 or 9 posts.
That's true.
Because of the algorithm, the way it's set up. These people are in this. They're on your friends list. It used to be you see everybody's stuff.
Right.
But then slowly it start going towards your target, who you talk to the most. Or sometimes you'll see a post that was like 3 days ago.
Right.
You saw it's going to do is the algorithm that's set up. So instead of getting upset, realize that they're playing you, and the people that are most likely to think like you, comment like you, and have the same thing with you, will be the same people that you interact with 85% of the time
Right.
on Facebook or Instagram.
Which is funny because I never interact with you, but I always see your posts.
Yeah, I never seen
I
that.
I don't ever like your stuff, but I always see
Oh,
it.
wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
But
Like,
I
you don't
love
ever
you.
like anybody's stuff.
I like some people's stuff, just not
the thing is,
Jeezy's.
I don't see anything Ron posts at all.
I don't post very often. I posted today.
But I don't see none of it. But then again, I'm not on anything like that.
See those little lights right there?
That's
I don't. I'm trying to detach and unplug from the whole,
Sometimes I think I just want to go to like a deserted island, partially to be in the warmth and the sun. But then if my stuff wouldn't work and I could just like
yeah.
relax.
Kevin Hart was on the Joe Rogan podcast this week. It was actually pretty good. He had made a comment about how one time he was driving to an appointment and his battery died on his phone. And he had to pull over. He had no idea where he was going, how to get there, like directions, like none of that stuff. Like he was completely lost. He had no numbers. He didn't know anybody's number to call, anything. And he was
I at
like-
least have some numbers memorized.
and it made you think like, man,
I could call like 3 people.
I could probably call like 2 or 3 people.
I could call
I
3
can't
people.
call very many.
Very many people. You know what I mean? Like, but he was explaining like, man, that's amazing how when did we get to this point where we don't remember anything?
I mean, it's crazy because, I mean, as a kid and as a young person, I used to pride myself on being able to remember girls' phone
So yeah,
numbers.
there you go.
Yeah, but you had to dial it. Like the phone numbers I know are either super easy or they're old, and so I used to have to dial it. And so even I think if I couldn't remember it exactly, if I was stopped like at a payphone and I was looking at the numbers, I think I could figure it out.
Yeah.
But like, does the operator even exist anymore?
That's
Like,
a good question.
if I go to the payphone and press 0, am I going to
Wait,
get
wait,
somebody
first
that
of all,
I
where's
can?
the payphone?
You're so right.
A few of them out there.
Can I call the operator from someone else's cell phone? Be like, can you dispatch me to my mom?
Hey, real quick.
Probably.
I'm gonna look.
My bad. My throat's messed up. But hey, real quick, there was something we got away from when we were talking about the females, that are on the phone. There's this phenomenon called incels.
Yeah, men that don't decide not to have sex. Is that what it is?
What's it called?
Incels.
Incels. You know what? Matter of fact, if you want to go ahead and look it up, I'll let you look it up.
I heard incest. That's why I was confused.
Incels.
Incels.
I think that's like, isn't that men that decide that they want to be celibate?
Involuntary celibacy.
Involuntary celibacy, but
Okay.
they.
Ooh, okay, I found it.
Why don't you read it?
So, according to Wikipedia, it says that incels are members of an online subculture who define themselves as unable to find a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one, a state they both describe as inceldom. Self-identified incels are...
Seldom.
Yeah,
Alright.
not
Do you guys
seldom.
need anything? No, I cannot take that yet.
Take a water.
Self-identified incels are largely white and are almost exclusively male heterosexuals. The term is a portmanteau of involuntary celibates.
All right, here's my question.
Oh, HBO has a whole show about it.
Yeah, no, I heard that before. They talked about it before.
It's
but-
called This is what the life of an incel looks like on HBO.
So there's men out
Show me a
here-
picture of one of these guys that's on the show.
No, he looks. I mean, I saw.
I want you to describe what
I mean,
you
he's a-
picture.
Honestly, I think he's probably a nerdy white guy. But I don't think he's unattractive. I think he's an attractive,
What do you think he
nerdy
does
white guy.
during the day?
cold.
So this is I would consider non-attractive younger white male on the computer. Now, this is just the first picture, so I haven't seen any other ones.
My thing is this. Like, my thing is this. That guy can't get laid. You know what I'm saying?
Nasser?
If he's in his house, who is that?
Nasser's on here.
No. The dude right
Larry
here.
Nasser?
Yeah.
The dude with the yellow
Oh,
highlights.
this dude?
Like, what I don't understand, the problem is this. We all grew up where you had to communicate to women. Like, you had to talk to them. I
These
think
guys are in the house.
The thrill of the hunt.
you're doing the hunt. So I think a lot of these guys, I would dare say, are on the scale. And what I mean by scale, the autistic scale. I would dare say
Spectrum.
I'm sorry, the spectrum. I would say they're on the spectrum. So as we know, a lot of people that's on the spectrum have problems communicating. Am I
No, you're right.
They have a problem communicating. So therefore, they high functioning. They got jobs. They sit at the computer. They can code. They can code a weird science chick all day long. But a real chick sitting in front of them, they can't.
Correct.
They can't interact with them.
I would definitely agree with that, Jeezy. That these gentlemen are unable
To communicate.
They can communicate. They're just not able to formulate a relationship
Yeah.
because they're social awkward.
It's socially awkwardness. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's something more deeper than just you can't get no ass. Anybody, I see. You can see people out here all day long that's like so unattractive, and they got women.
I mean,
they got men.
There's also Jim Beam. There's also whiskey, beer, vodka. All those things for sure contribute to dating and all those things.
Now, I would ask y'all this because you and Ron are in the educational realm, so y'all see a lot more young people interact than I do in my day-to-day. But would you say that there are more kids today that you deal with that are on the spectrum than when we was growing up? Or I would say introverted. More introverts today than extroverts.
The prevalence of autism, if that's what you're talking about, is much higher than it has been ever. It continues to increase, really at astronomical rates. However, there's so many different levels, many different levels of folks being on the spectrum. So I mean, who knows? I mean, you know what? If you think about the word religiously, what's the first thing you guys think about?
You do it all the time.
Church.
Wow, that's what makes us a good show. Because we have both definitions, zero definitions from the female contingent, and then we have both of the other definitions from the other guys. You're right. Truly, religiously, is I do it all the time. I do it every day. I do it often. But most people think that has to do something with church, right? So that leads me to the fact that you guys are going to love this. You guys are going to, oh my gosh, you're going to eat this up. You guys know the movie Shazam?
Yeah.
New movie?
The new movie Shazam. Have you ever heard of another movie named Shazam? Ever?
Yeah.
Is this the Mandela Effect?
Who was in it?
Yeah,
Shaquille O'Neal.
No, he was Kazam.
No, it was Kazam.
Yeah, but the Mandela Effect was.
it was Sinbad.
Sinbad.
Have you heard? So you read about it because you're podcasters, but did you hear about it before that?
Yeah, I've been heard about it, but it never existed, allegedly.
No, I've
What you
never
mean
heard about
allegedly?
it.
Well, it's
You
one
never-
of those Mandela effects that people talk about.
Yeah, but to me it's goofy. So they say that so some of us are on Earth.
Well,
Hey.
but the thing is, Boo, in all seriousness, not to take a moose turn, on his IMDb page, there is no Shazam on there.
Right.
But we know.
I do not know. I don't know nothing about it.
I remember the movie Shazam.
I never saw it. I never saw
Anyway,
Shazam.
continue what you were saying.
No, that's what I'm there. I never saw Shazam with his name was Sinbad.
Sinbad.
I know. Look,
You guys need anything else?
no.
No, thank you.
And so here's what's happening here, guys. We have so many, interesting, and I for some reason I'm struggling with the word, but so many things that are happening that do we really know what's going on, or are we just making it up, as we go by, like you understand what I'm saying? I
think there's a lot of things as far as like we're talking about the incels and
right.
So I just don't understand, and I guess for me it's hard for me to identify with that because I feel like anybody can get some. Like there's plenty of women that will lay with you. It might not be the women that you want or the women that you think you deserve, but there are women out there. If you just there's dudes out there with like no arms and no legs, man. They got women. Man.
But if you don't know how to talk to a woman
Yeah.
in today's world,
Right.
it's almost all for naught. I mean, because chances are you're likely not going to be able to separate yourself on social media, and you'll probably never encounter all your potential options on social media. So I think there are a lot of missed connections and opportunities.
Right. I think there needs to be, because what the incels are saying is they feel like the government should provide them
They
women.
want to take down the Chads and the Stacys, which are like
Yeah.
the epitome of
Yeah, so-
like
and
the
I-
all-American guy and girl.
Yeah, but but see, that's the problem with having these echo chambers and these little societies, like these little groups, is that everybody's mad at another group. Everybody
They're worried about the wrong thing.
the wrong thing. Everybody want to point their finger at this group over there, you know, because what's her name? Scarlett Johansson butt looked a certain way in this movie. That's unattainable for me to look that way. With them, it ain't your job to look that way. Her job is to be attractive so that she can get roles, so she can get you to come out and see her in the movie. That's her job. Brad Pitt's job is to look attractive so you can go out and he can go on TV and you want to see Brad Pitt. Idris Elba's job is to look good. That's your job. Their job is to be pretty or beautiful. That's their job. Your job is to go do whatever it is that you do from 9 to 5 or whatever hours you work. That's your job.
Hey, can you look up that Charlize Theron and find out
So,
who the one said they were too
The issues I'm having is so many people. It's like how poor people look at rich people. We feel like, well, they should do this because they're rich. Like, nah, man, don't be counting that man pocket. Like, be happy in your lane. Be cool in your lane is over here.
Because there are several people, man, that are totally comfortable, you know, with whatever they make, which is way below poverty
Yeah,
level.
but they cool. They know it's like,
Yeah.
don't look at what they got over there and be like, oh, I deserve that. No, you don't, man.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a capitalistic society.
For sure.
Anybody can get money. Anybody, if you got the will, you got the hard work.
So I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So, have you seen that post where it's ask a white person in our trip
y'all
as
saw it.
Pilgrim? Have you seen that?
No.
It's funny.
Y'all saw it.
It's like the post is something like, "Hey, black people, ask white people anything you've ever wanted to know."
Yeah.
And,
funny.
And you've seen it, right?
I read the comments for way
I wanna know-
longer than I am proud to admit.
I want to know the white people get a secret check
No.
They get a check.
that we don't know about. Everybody else don't know about.
No,
Is there like a white
but
person check?
systematic racism gives
That's
white
funny.
people the upper hand.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I asked that question. Because there are certain businesses, certain things that just pop up. I'm like, man, how the hell you afford this? Like there's certain things I feel like that don't make money. We can go downtown right now. And there's a craft store on the Circle. You think to yourself, like, how the hell is this damn craft store on the Circle and it makes money? You know what I'm saying? Like you selling crafts. Like, how much crafts are you selling to pay the rent in this building? You know what I'm saying?
I
You
will
see what I'm
say-
saying?
I will say, like-
but 36 Degrees can't stay open. And it's a bakery next door.
That's true.
A bakery
And
downtown.
I will say, like, I enjoy watching HGTV, and it'll be like 23-year-old pilgrim couples, and they're like, I scoop dog poop, and my husband
Yeah.
works in animal husbandry, and our budget is $650,000.
Well, like, how?
And I'm like, why?
How? I don't understand that. I don't understand
Why?
how a
How does this
bakery
work?
can pay $10,000 a month and more. Like, how many cakes do you have to sell? And are you selling it? Because I've never seen anybody in there.
True.
Like, that's why my mind be like, how does?
But
how
a
does- how
cake
does-
you can order ahead of time.
Eh,
It's a
I'm
little
listening.
different than going to a restaurant,
What
but
I'm saying-
it still doesn't make sense.
The math ain't adding up. Man. It's like, man, how you making money? You downtown, and you got like a army surplus store.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, do you
Who are
own
you
a big-
serving?
Who are you serving? Like, how do y'all get? Is there enough traffic in here for you to make this kind of money to pay the rent? The rent got to be at least $8,000 a month downtown.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing as Charlize Theron saying, you know what?
Was she begging for a man?
Being genetically beautiful is tough for her.
That is
It's hard
insane.
for her to get a dude.
Charlize Theron can come in here right now. Right now, she can walk here right now. I guarantee
Walk
seven.
out with who she wants.
Who she wants, man.
Maybe she's a lesbian and doesn't want to
No, but
admit
the thing
it.
is, her standard, what she wants, if she feel like that she deserves, because
That's true. It's higher.
yeah, it's the thing is, man, like a brother, man, you be like, know what, man, I might want this, but know what, this over here got a fat ass or some. I'm on.
And
You know
she
what
going.
says?
And she going.
You know what she says? She says that her looks have gotten in the way of some of Hollywood's best parts because she's too pretty.
Well, she is a very attractive woman, but she's skinny for my taste. What I'm saying is, the thing that I'm saying is, it's like she feels like she can't get ahead because she's super pretty, which is like the most insane.
Jobs with real gravitas go to people that are physically right for them, and that's the end of the story.
I mean, she
Physical gravitas, that's a great word.
I'll be honest, but she's not Halle Berry fine. Like she ain't like, oh my
Right,
god.
nobody wrote a hip hop song about
I
her.
mean, she ain't like, oh my god. She walks in the room, you like,
I don't feel like she's that pretty.
she's pretty. She's pretty.
I mean, like, she's pretty, but I don't feel like she's like this over the top
she's
gorgeous.
not
She
Beyonce.
can get it.
Yeah, she can get
Halle Berry.
Miss
Halle
Berry.
Yeah, she ain't Halle Berry fine. Like she's an attractive woman.
Maybe
She
that's a
ain't-
race thing.
She ain't fine. She ain't fine. She attractive.
Can a white woman be fine?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. I don't know the
Jennifer
rules.
Aniston fine.
I didn't know the rules of.
Deal.
Shit, Jennifer Aniston fine.
Speaking as we bring
Are you
up
scared, kidding me?
as we bring up Pilgrim Moms, what do you guys think about the scandal where they were paying for the
So
schools?
there's
Yeah.
new things happening with
But I don't. But
it.
see, I don't care
Talk
about
about
that.
it. Talk about it. I'll tell you what. Run that news.
Yes. So Felicity Huffman was on Desperate Housewives, and I think that it is safe to say she is
Which-
now even more desperate than she was.
Which Moose enjoyed that show.
You watched it?
I haven't watched. I haven't watched.
I didn't know that.
I haven't watched
I've never
second
seen it.
of Desperate Housewives,
I
even
used
to a commercial.
I used to enjoy.
Oh my
Desperate
gosh, this makes
Housewives.
it so much better.
I did.
Yes.
Felicity.
So do you feel sympathy for Felicity Huffman?
No, I
So-
don't. But
I don't feel
enjoyed
sympathy
the
for
show.
none of them, but I'm saying,
I
but
don't feel sympathy for him, but I enjoyed the
So
show.
she, at this point, the rumor is that she's going to plead guilty so that she can have a deal. Because
she won't see jail time.
well,
Nor should she.
What they're saying is that the feds want her to do 4 to 10 months.
She won't do none of that.
She would like to have a plea deal for 0 to 6 months.
House arrest.
You know what? It doesn't say, but that would make the most sense.
It doesn't make sense. You
Say
know
what?
But she has agreed to plead
She's pleading guilty. She's pleading guilty, and so is
Aunt Becky
Aunt
is
Becky too.
holy smokes. So
This
Aunt
is
Becky
insane. For what? Because I want my
is-
kid to go to a certain school. I got the money to put
Well,
him in
They
there.
so
were
Aunt Becky-
bribing people.
Aunt
they
Becky
were doing
is her name is
extortion.
Lori Laughlin. That's her real
Aunt
name.
Becky.
I know her as Aunt Becky. So I didn't realize at first that she had paid off the test. Like she rigged the test for her child to get in. So here's what she said. Hey honey, I want you to go to whatever school you want because that is what you deserve, but I don't think you're smart enough, so I'm going to pay off the peoples to make sure that you get in. Because I don't think you can do it on your own.
But my thing is, I would tell her if I was her, if I was, what's her name?
Which one? Aunt Becky?
Felicity
And
or Lori?
If I was Aunt Becky, I'd tell her, look, you ain't smart enough to go to the UFC. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call this acting coach that I know personally. We're gonna go ahead and get you. You gonna do the family business.
Well, so she also now is being charged with money laundering
Yeah, that's-
in addition to paying off the test.
Yeah, I mean, just be like, you know what? Who wants to
So-
go to school anyway and waste all that money that she's not gonna do anything with?
And the money laundering now is really going to increase her sentence, which
I
it
wonder why
could give
she's
her a
money
maximum
laundering.
of 20 years in prison.
She's not
She's
doing
gonna go.
it.
No, she won't do 20 years, and she'll go to Martha Stewart prison, which is different than.
Well, prison is still prison. I hate when people say.
No.
I hate when people say it's not like-
Martha Stewart prison is different than rich people prison, which is different than white people prison, which is different than black people prison. It's different.
Let me
It's different.
explain something. It's for
sure different.
Socioeconomic status and race for sure matters.
Wait. Let me ask you this question. Can you go home when you want to?
No.
It's still prison. If I can't leave the building, if I gotta go in my room and the door is locked behind me, it's still jail. I don't care. We got lights, we got TV. At the end of the day, my door closed and I cannot leave.
No, it's way different.
Don't get me wrong, it's worse. Don't get me wrong. There's other people in there that might do me harm. But at the end of the day, Moose, you can't leave. So I don't get still prison. You can't leave.
It's
you
not
better-
the same,
better have
you
a-
know it.
I know
No.
it's not. I'm not saying it's not the same. What I'm saying is it's still prison. You can put me in this building right here. So you know what, Jesus, you can have this whole building, but you can't leave.
You'll be fine.
No,
You'd be totally fine.
for a couple of days, and you realize like, man, I can't go
You'll
outside.
be fine
I can't.
for 30 days in there.
I can't leave.
No,
I can't
in
leave.
Martha Stewart prison, you for sure get to go outside and you get to have interactions with other human beings.
That's again, at the end of the day, when you put a little tick, clean, that happens in
Then
every
I
jail.
also live in a prison because when I go home, I am by myself.
But you can leave.
I can leave.
You can leave.
I can go
get in your
outside.
car and go. There's something to be.
I can interact
there's something
with
to be
human
said. I'm not
beings.
Musa. Don't give me the look. I'm not saying it's the same. I'm not saying that it's even close to the same.
We
What I'm
have to
saying
look
is,
it up
jail,
of it,
we
man.
looking at jail like, oh, it's an easy jail
I
where
need to run
everybody
that
get
news.
massages and everybody get their feet rubbed. Like,
They are. Yeah.
it's still jail.
They just
It's
run
jail.
that news for me.
Okay, yeah, so D-Wade has a new commercial that's out now from Budweiser. Have you guys seen it?
No, I heard it's
Oh my
emotional.
goodness, it is so emotional.
What-
You
what
have
is
to
it?
watch it. It's 4 minutes long, or I will let you
That's
watch it right
probably
now.
why I won't watch
So
it.
he's
Is it-
getting
is it-
ready to retire.
How's he doing a Budweiser commercial? He's still playing.
Budweiser's doing it for his in honor of his retirement.
Maybe they're
so
a league sponsor.
here's the gist of it. So he would trade his basketball jerseys with other basketball players, and so they have brought in this commercial. They brought in these 5 influential people that either influenced D-Wade or he played a huge role in their life at some point. And so they don't have jerseys to give him, but they give him something. And so it's really emotional. Like, it's a sister of one of the kids that died in the Parkland shooting, and she gives him the jersey that her brother wore in the last championship game that he played in. And at some point, Dwayne Wade had met the family, and he wrote her brother's name on his shoe for one of the games. And it's like a dude that he helped, and so he gives him the first suit jacket that he wore to his first interview. His mom's in it. I didn't know anything about his
Whose
family.
mom?
Dwayne Wade's.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Are any of the people that are giving him stuff outside of his mom? Are there anybody people of color? Anybody of
Yeah,
color?
all of them are. Every single person in that commercial
No
is.
shit. 'Cause
Yep.
Usually it's usually like the one black athlete.
Nope.
bunch of
Every
white
single
kids.
person in that commercial is a person of color.
What's the matter with you, man?
That's
You know
bad.
what I'm saying?
That always gonna bother me. When
You know what I'm saying? You like Cicely Tyson.
No, it makes me, that don't bother you, man. When you see that kind of bothers me, man. When I see all the black athletes and you walk around, it's like ain't no brothers, ain't no little black kids in the
No.
crowd, man.
No,
Ain't
every
you know what I'm saying?
sound like
Every
a
person in that commercial is a person of
You sound
color.
like Spike
I'm
Lee
just
on
saying, NBA
What
cares,
was that
man.
movie?
Not
What was
really,
that
'cause
movie?
I don't see.
Ain't no brothers on the wall, Sal. Ain't no brothers on the wall, Sal.
It ain't, though.
Sound
Do the right thing.
Anyway,
Smith, do the right thing.
moving on with Dwayne
Yeah,
Wade.
next.
He
How
and
about another one?
well, he and Gabrielle Union were
Yeah,
spotted
Pride.
at the
Gay
Miami Gay Pride Festival for his 11-year-old son. I didn't know he had a gay son. Now you know.
He's 11 though.
His name is Zion. Yes.
Can
yes.
we determine at 11? Are we
Yes.
sure at 11?
Yes.
So first of all, is he having sex at 11? Because
I'm moving on.
That seems fair.
He might be identified. Hey, you know, guys, real quick.
Okay.
Hey, real quick. Can I tell you this? That so you know, you guys know I run a business, whatever,
Yeah.
and I had to do a non-discrimination blurb on something that I wrote today, and the last line of it says, I will not pass judgment on genetic issues as well, because it could be considered an EEOC complaint. That's it. I'm done. Let's
I'm
go.
moving
Move
on.
on.
So-
move on.
real
Let's
quick.
move on.
Isn't
what always
gay
happens.
a sexuality? Is it gay a sexual preference?
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't have a crush when you were like 7.
But that's not. So crush is sex? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm out of the loop.
You are automatically attracted to who you are attracted to.
But it's not sex. The attraction is not. I mean, I
So
like
how
nice
do you know you're
cars.
not gay because you've never had sex with a man?
I'm not.
How do you know
The man
that?
doesn't
I
make
don't
it-
know.
You're not attracted to.
All right, moving on. So, Boozy
That makes
is
no
no
sense,
longer a badass. He is just now in jail. So,
Who?
Boozy Badass
Oh yeah.
took me back to like high school.
Little
Boozy badass.
Little Boozy.
Boosie.
I said Boozy, right? Did I say Boozy?
I probably said Boozy. Anyway, his real name's Antonio Allen, for the record.
Yikes.
He got arrested on
I don't think that's his name.
gun and drug charges. So, maybe that was who he was with.
That's
That was
who
who
he
he
was
was
with.
with. So,
Was he in Indianapolis?
he's got to pay a bunch of money. He's got to pay a bunch of money. He was released earlier today. shockingly only on a $3,500 bond. So shout out to that story for taking me back to my high school days. Did you guys see the video of the Auburn gymnast who broke both of her legs in her routine?
I saw the video.
Y'all don't watch
That's what my arm looked like when I broke it. Luckily, it was only
Did you
one.
see the video?
You gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it.
You have to watch it.
No, I saw Nurkic break his ankle. That was never.
No, you gotta watch it.
I'm not gonna watch somebody break their feet.
I do feel really, really bad for her though. So she is, of course, retired now.
Of course, you break they look like toothpicks. It's okay.
Yeah, she snapped both of her legs trying to land a handspring double front on Friday. I have it right here.
I'm not looking.
I saw before she took off, and I saw when she was on the ground. And
Dog, it's oh man.
Are we talking about Mike Epps?
We're gonna, not yet.
Is it part of your news?
Nope.
All right, go.
Solange Knowles was not at Coachella because she did not have a band, and a Smallville actress was arrested in a sex cult case.
Yeah, we knew
So
about it.
I did this show I did this story just for you guys because you're always talking about, well, where are the women that are doing it? So here she is. Her name is
She was forced to co-worker.
Allison Mack.
She was forced to coworkers to have sex and it was like kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's facing up to 40 years. But she, of course, is, contesting it. That's the word I was looking for. So, sex trafficking charges, they're calling it a sex cult. Right now, she's out on bail
This has been going on for like 2
with
years
an
now.
active ankle monitor. So, I did that just for you guys. Also, Chris Cyborg recently went to Uganda for a mission trip, and she was next to this woman who got kidnapped. And so, here's my thing. You are this world-famous fighter and really kind of scary looking. Why did you not fight this person so this lady didn't get kidnapped?
Different countries, different rules.
I know, but like,
First of all, man, when we gonna stop using Africa for mission trips, man?
where do you want to go for mission trips? Not
First of all,
everybody
mission-
goes to
mission
Africa.
is- The thing is, when they go over there, they spill in their religion. That's what going over and spill
Well,
my religious.
It's not always religiously based, but for the most part it is. But it's not always Africa.
Teach these people about how about go over there and be like, oh man, y'all living pretty good over here. Y'all got all kind of nice stuff and stuff. How about let's stop doing poverty porn, man.
Well, here's the thing. Church,
Africa ain't all about a bunch of people out there doing tribes and throwing spears, man.
there are people that do mission work in their own city, and it doesn't have to be
When they go
religiously
to Africa,
charged.
everybody know they go to Africa.
They don't always go to Africa, is what I'm trying to tell you.
All the white dude want to go to the tribe with people throwing spears at them. You idiot.
Well,
they want about your God.
That person wasn't
They on
very
this
smart.
island their whole life. They ain't trying to hear about that stuff, man. Go on some over there.
That person wasn't very smart.
Can we
So,
get the mic ups?
unless we want to
Right
talk
now,
about
right
Nipsey
now, right
Hussle
now.
first. Okay, no. Okay,
Oh, you
great.
got Nipsey Hussle? Wait, I'm shocked.
Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about it because we weren't on the air last week.
I mean, Nipsey Hussle has catapulted Tupac and Biggie.
I
overnight.
know. I had never even
Moose
heard
Moose
of
hit
him.
me up. We talked about it. I was like, man, can you name a Nipsey Hussle song? I was like,
Oh.
dude,
I had never heard of
I've
him.
never. I know who he was.
Here's the thing.
I think he did
I
good
heard
work for
one
his
song.
community.
I heard one song only because
I'm gonna ask the resident D. I'm gonna defer to the resident DJ.
Please do.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, man, I was familiar with Nipsey for quite a while. We played Nipsey's music on the Iron 3 Hip Hop show just because he was a popular independent hip hop artist. So he was also somebody we had a chance to talk quite a bit about. If you go back and listen to the old episodes, just because he was on kind of a real financial movement and independence and real estate and building a brand, et cetera, and Bitcoin and everything else. So he generated a lot of conversation within the show, man. So I've been familiar with Nipsey for years, going back to when he was sneaking in places and, pretending to be a famous rapper, to get into certain parties and have his picture taken with different celebrities that were there. So it was a tragic loss, and man, I just can't believe it. Just somebody that's actually on the right path, laying a blueprint, and gets killed right in his neighborhood by somebody he used to take pictures and hang out with. Man, it's
Did they ever say
tragic.
why he did it?
Jealousy, man. They said they had got into it, some sort of argument or altercation
Like right
earlier
before
that
it.
day, and Nipsey called him a snitch and told him he didn't want him around. The guy took it personal, and well,
Yes,
now
and
we're
so
here.
the most recent news is that the death certificate has now been released. So Nipsey Hussle died 35 minutes after the shooting outside of his store. So that is the most recent development.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I You know, I'm not.
I had no idea who he was.
I've heard of him. I've heard, you know, like his name mentioned before. I wasn't really familiar with his music.
Yeah.
To be fair, you know, so. Well,
Yeah, I mean, the what's that song? The Last Time I Checked. That's the one. That's the one I know. Yeah, that's the one I know. And matter of fact, Big Gates just sent that to us too, and I was like, yeah, I know that one, but I don't know any other ones. All right, so Jeezy, talk about Epps, man.
Yeah,
man.
Apparently, Mike Epps,
hometown hero.
Hometown, man. His wife getting divorced, man, and she feel like she deserved $110,000 a month in spousal support because she
$110,000 a month.
A month in spousal support because quote she too old to get a job.
She's too old to get a job.
Yeah.
Where's she from?
That doesn't matter.
I just am curious. That's very interesting.
Here's Jeezy.
Oh, let's
Tim
hear
Williams.
it.
I'm gonna blur this into Tim Williams, man, son. Fellas, man, if you listen to this show, especially young fellas, young lads, man, if you're ever fortunate in your life to earn an income that will exceed anything over $200,000 a year, don't do it, player.
Don't do it.
Don't get married, man. Ain't no need to, dog. Ain't no need. You make $200,000 a year is roughly between bring home roughly $10,000 to $12,000 a month. There is no need to gamble. That's what it is.
Marriage.
Gamble your hard work, your earnings on a maybe that you may stay together forever. When statistics show that it ain't gonna happen. Now you're making less than that, then you know what? Get married, because now you can combine two incomes together, and then you know what? You can live a pretty good life. But if you make more than that, ain't no need, man. Ain't no need to combine nothing. I got this all by myself. I'm cool. And people always, the women know what the women will say, well, who's gonna take care of you when you're sick? You know what? Jeezy was sick at one point when I was a single man. I was sick one time, and I had various women come over and take care of me. There was never a lonely night where I was like, can you bring me some soup? There was always somebody on deck waiting to bring me soup, yo. So if you got bread, I'm sure you will have plenty of women on deck ready to bring you soup. Let's talk about love. Who knows? Love. Love. That's the word that they usually like throw around.
Do they say it like that?
You need love, okay? Jesus always said, I'm going to bring it out like this, man. Women will do more for you when they like you.
Yes, than they will when they love you.
When they love you. That is a fact. Because everybody wants the job.
They will work hard to get the job.
And I'll say it like this. Think about it like this. When we go to an interview, and the interviewer asks you, so you have any problem working on Saturday? What you say? No, not at all. When you get the job,
flexible.
When you get the job, Moose, we need you to work on Saturday. Oh, man, I can't even make it today. Because you already got the job, so I'm already in there. I'm not doing it.
Oh, but when they got you, tell your mama bring you some soup.
Yeah, think about and fellas, think about this. When she likes you, think about all the pineapples, rolled stuff you used to give when you was driving. Think about all the spontaneous alley you used to have, like just all the scantily, just like the nasty stuff you used to do. Think about that. You was getting that when you get married, or when quote unquote love is dropped in.
Yes, please.
When love is dropped in there, that's not happening anymore.
Is yours ready, sir? I can't see it.
Oh, not yet. Yeah, it's not happening.
Hey man, so Heavy's radio show, man. Like today's.
Moose, am I lying?
Ron,
am I lying? From the resident woman over here.
Oh, man, I don't agree with it.
Of course,
but
not. Go ahead.
wow.
Go ahead. Listen, but what? I'm sorry.
But I think that it probably does happen often. By
dare I say all the time?
no, I'm not gonna go with all the time.
You know, and fellas, next time your woman say, "I've done everything for you," you never give me that threesome. that falls on everything.
That's hilarious.
Giving yourself too much credit.
Hey, I tell you what, real quick, guys, we need to go into Bruising Reviews.
Yes.
What is Bruising Reviews, D-Lo G?
It's always like a quiz. It's like a teacher quiz. Like, who's he gonna call on? I don't want to read out loud today, Mr. Moose.
What? DJ
Let me
Long
raise
Green?
my hand to answer.
Yeah,
DJ
man.
Long Green, what's Bruising Reviews?
Bruiser Reviews is a Heavy Hitters radio show rating system. It's on a scale from 1 to 10. It's a reverse rating system. So the more brews that it takes you to enjoy something, the less pleasurable or desirable it was. You can brew and review anything, music, movies, products,
Salt.
pretty much anything you can assign a rating
Did you
to
say
can be
salt?
brewed and reviewed.
All right.
I like that, man. Hey, has anybody seen Shazam?
No.
I wonder
You
how
haven't
come-
seen it?
How come we haven't seen
What?
Shazam?
I always count on you to go see the movies to talk about them.
It's DC, it's not Marvel.
So I was talking to somebody today at
So
work.
I heard it was good, so I might check it out.
I was talking to somebody today at work, and they said it was good. It was really funny.
Yeah, I mean,
I, of course, did not ask for any more details because I was an irresponsible podcast participant.
Hey, so,
I know before. I know Moose got a big one that he want to talk about. So I'm going to get mine in real quick.
which one?
On My Block on Netflix.
I heard about that.
If you haven't watched it, man, it's a pretty dope show. It's basically about a group
sorry,
of
what
kids.
is
I
dope?
knew that was coming. As soon as I said it, I tried to come on.
Try to keep going. What does dope mean?
I know this one.
Go ahead,
Can somebody give us a
urban translation?
I know
urban
this one, and I don't
Wait,
always know them.
Wait. How you gonna give us an urban translation?
Yes, I live-
This might be the first.
I live.
For real.
This might be the
I
first
live hood
time.
adjacent now.
This might be the first time that
She
a
do live in Hallville. So
I live. I'm adjacent to Hallville. I'm not in Hallville.
This might be the
Anyhow,
first time that
she used the word
a
adjacent.
pilgrim gives us urban
I can speak
translation,
two
go.
languages. Dope means cool.
Oh, wait. You can speak two languages? You're
Yes.
not-
Does anyone
you're
here
not
speak
multi-language.
jive?
I can speak. Oh, I can speak three because I can speak pilgrim. I can speak moose when he says, the thing, and I always know exactly what he's talking about. You know that's real.
Moose is a language,
Moose
for
is a
sure.
language. So I can speak pilgrim and moose and adjacent hoodness. I'm gonna create my own new language. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna combine all of them.
All right,
Anyway,
What
dope
does dope
means
mean?
like really cool.
Yeah, so it's a really cool show. It's about a group of teenagers growing up in Los Angeles, and it kind of goes through how they're good kids, but how they navigate living in gangs and family being in gangs and deal with poverty and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like The Chi. It was only
But
available
it's
in
in,
The
but it's in
Chi.
California.
It was in California. It's actually a pretty good show, man. So it's on Netflix on season 2. You Will Cry. Jeezy had a couple of misty-eyed moments. It's heavy, man. You're dealing with kids, man, all kind of stuff. So and plus,
What's it called again?
it's called The Blog. It's on my blog. It's called On My Blog.
On my block.
On
It kind
my
of relates to
blog.
like
Okay, got it.
the reason why it kind of got to me because it was like that's how I grew up. Man, every situation it was in is like I've been in there, man. I've been
I
there
wish they would have
before.
called it Black Kids on the Blog.
Because they're not all black kids. See, you're racist. They're not all black kids.
That's her implicit bias.
Automatic.
I live hood
Damn.
adjacent. I'm not totally immersed in the culture
so-
yet.
Automatic, though.
So-
It's for white kids.
So I got a question. All right, so like I've been watching. Well, I started watching. What's the name of it? The All American. Have you heard about
Yeah,
that?
I watched like the first season of it.
Oh, you seen the first? Oh, so I'm just now in the first, like
But no, I just watched it. It's
the
been on
fourth
for a while.
episode. Yeah, the fourth episode. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's a pretty
It's
good
kind of
show.
like same. On My Block is kind of similar to that, except they're not athletes. But
All right.
him
okay.
going from the hood to like the prep school.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys are throwing out titles but not assigning any brews.
On My Block, man, I give it like one brew.
And so far I've seen the All American, and I give it one brew as well. I mean, I get that. It's so far it's really held my attention. And then what was the one I was really excited about? I can't remember anymore.
The one with Omar Epps.
No,
Mike Epps.
Oh yeah.
The Trap.
So I watched the movie The Trap, and I think it was a made for Netflix movie.
I
So
mean, the ending was screwed up.
well, here's the issue for me. At some point, it kind of looked like a karate picture because like they had the close up to their faces, and the voice didn't match their face. But other than that, it was entertaining. I will say this: it was very predictable. So
It's
everything that
Netflix.
happened, you go, oh, I know what's gonna happen. Oh, I know what's gonna happen. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like
Oh, I
this.
know
Man.
what's gonna
Netflix, when Disney dropped their streaming service, Netflix is in trouble. Let me tell you what, man. Because all the movies that's made for Netflix, they have one common problem: they can never end the movie the right way. Like, everyone you watch, it has some type of
I also feel like they're very predictable.
It's very predictable and very like the front, like the Triple
I mean,
Frontier.
all movies are.
but some movies have they're written better, like the Triple Frontier with the one that had all the big production with Ben Affleck, where they supposed to rob the.
Yeah.
It's a good premise, and you see the trailers. The trailer, you're like, oh, man, it's gonna be good. Then you get to the movie, you're like, oh, I see why it was on Netflix. I see why. It's just like the acting was kind of like, it's just Netflix is good for comedy. Which I saw Kevin Hart new one. It was pretty good.
The Kevin Hart's
His new
You
one's
guys
pretty
need
funny.
anything else?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Hey,
too.
you know what? Hey, that's our person at Kruger's.
Yeah, her name's Jessica.
Jessica at Kruger's.
323 North
Is
Delaware.
that where we are?
That is where we are today.
All right, cool, man. That's us. Hey, man, Heavy Hitters Radio Show. I tell you what, we're about done.
Yeah, it's like might be the shortest show in history.
No,
65 only. I'm gonna be on that one.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good one. Hey,
What did y'all have in the championship game, Final Four?
my
My personal brag, I did have Virginia in the championship game.
I beat Moose.
But I had them losing to Michigan State.
That's a good question. I had my bad. I had Michigan and North Carolina in one, and I had Michigan and
What you did?
Purdue in the other.
I have to look. I had Duke and Virginia.
Yeah, I had Virginia, Michigan State.
I'm very surprised. I mean, a lot. You know what? I mean, but the only way for Virginia to get over last year was to win it this year.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So that's.
You went from an all-time.
They went from
one extreme.
I mean, like, yeah. Like, I mean, so
one
I'm
season.
cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm definitely
Imagine if the people who had the lead last year, the ones that graduated last year, and you turn around and win it next year.
right. They're like, dang. Yeah. So I mean, no. So I mean, that was really good, and I think a lot of the games were exciting. We're talking about sports right
A
now.
lot of them went into overtime.
Overtime.
Is it usually?
and
I don't
the
feel like it's
last
usually
second,
like that.
The last second, all that.
We didn't have a lot of. We had a controversy in the Final Four. Was that a foul? Don't foul? Or double dribble?
For sure, double dribble.
Yeah, the
You
foul.
don't think it was a foul?
I thought he sold it more than he actually got fouled. See, slow motion makes
He's supposed to. I mean,
slow motion make everything look worse than what it is in regular speed. If you're watching a regular motion, you can see the guy. You see when he jumped his body.
Did you leave cash?
He tore his body. But I mean, the thing is, don't put yourself in a position. The other brother should have made the free throw.
Yeah.
He missed the free throw. Other dude came inside. So I mean, Virginia deserved to be there. Man.
I mean, well, no, Purdue should have beat him. Really. If you
Make the
think
free
about
throw.
it.
But the thing is,
He didn't
when
make-
Virginia needed to make free throws, they made them.
They made 'em, yeah.
When everybody else needed to make free throws, they didn't.
didn't, yeah.
So I mean, that's
All right, so we briefly talked about old girl that broke her legs from Auburn, right? The gymnast.
Yes.
And what I hear is
$110,000 a month.
Braz from Michigan is going pro, which is silly. He was a freshman of the year in Big Ten, but I don't think he should go pro, for sure.
What do you think about Nick Saban?
And I was going to say, go ahead.
Did you hear about that?
When he's talking about the
His
pro,
players?
yeah, go ahead, please talk about it.
People think that Nick Saban was hating, but because everybody look at headlines, they don't read the story because the headline gonna say Nick Saban don't want his players going pro. So obviously it gets people to click on it or talk about it without reading it. But what he's saying is that the people that's trying to go pro, he got 7 players that want to go pro that don't even have draft grades.
Right.
They're like 7th round grade, free agent grade.
Free agent grade, yeah.
Like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, nah, man, you need to come back.
Right.
Like, you should listen to Nick Saban.
Yes.
Because I think they pointed out the Washington Redskins defense, 8 players are from Alabama.
Right. Right.
8 of their players are from Alabama. So
Here's the worst part. You know what he said? He said, if you're not first or second round, when you're a youngster, you need to stay as long as you can or get your degree. He said, matter of fact, it's so bad now that he's going to change the way he recruits players. He's going to tell families. He's going to tell families straight up. Listen, here's what you need to do in order to make sense. If he's going to do it for real,
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate the fact he's going to go in there and say, listen, if this dude isn't going first or second round early, he needs to stay as long as he can. Otherwise, get your degree for free, and you move on with your life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's-
I agree with
That's
that.
that's just being smart right there. You know what I mean?
It's being
Because
smart.
first of all, if
it's
you
being-
come out,
It's good, but
do you know a third round player, how much money they get? It's less than $1 million, man. For a
no,
third,
it's not very much guaranteed money.
not much guaranteed money, and then your yearly is like $400,000.
No, I'll tell you this, guys. So I was in the
Kamara
barbershop.
only made like $300,000. Alvin
Right.
Kamara, he was a third round, fourth round.
I was in the barbershop the other day, and the guys were saying, man, if I was in the league, I would just go G League, make some money. And so I had just happened to look it up because I was talking to
They make less than
I was
50.
talking to a guy. The base salary for a G League player is $35,000.
$35,000, man.
Now you only work 5 months a year, and you also get a per diem, so you get food money every day. You get a little bit of housing and you get insurance, right?
but you got an agent.
$35,000. $35,000. Now, if you happen to sign a two-way contract, which means you get some time in the NBA, maybe a 10-day contract or something, then you are automatically eligible for the rookie minimum. Guess what happens? If you sign one 10-day contract, your annual salary goes up to $77,000. That's how much more money they make in the NBA compared to the G League. So you sign 10 days, your contract is prorated. So in 10 days, you're gonna make your $35,000 plus in those 10 days you're gonna make another 30 some odd thousand. That equals $77,000 because you played 10 days in the NBA.
It actually depends on how many games you play too.
Well,
Those 10 days.
it's a 10-day contract.
They're
right?
called games. You can get paid by the game.
Right.
Game
And so there was some guys. There was a couple guys that got caught up 3 or 4 times, and they made like $300,000. They cool, They don't necessarily have to work. They can keep playing basketball. But all the rest of those there was 83 guys that got caught up. So a lot of them made money out of the 120 guys that play in the G League. But for sure, it is not worth it to leave school early. To leave school early if you're not 1 through 10 in any sport.
I agree.
Then it's not.
Well,
it's
NBA is a little different because even the 15th pick, you get I think it's like $6 million or something like that. Like it's still like you get like $2 million a year. You're like all first rounders get like $1 million a year. First rounders.
It's not worth
It's,
it.
$1 million is $1 million. No. After you pay after taxes,
Taxes,
and
your
agent,
agent,
your
the
publicist,
and
all
then
that.
you got to pay all those people.
Yeah,
Plus
so
plus you're gonna get your parents something and your boys something. And
Yeah, you really know much. It's about $300,000.
Right, exactly. So you can.
That's
get
for
that.
man. That's for a year. So you're getting check to checks. You're getting probably like $80,000 checks.
Right.
You know, that you-
And so it's really not worth it, folks. This is the Average Radio Show, man. This is our sports, obviously, portion of the
So
show.
what did they say when you told them that?
What's that?
They still said
Yeah.
they go to the G League.
You know what? He was like, he's got to make it. I'm like, yeah. Everybody's thinking they got to make it. Everybody's going hard. Everybody's trying to do the thing they're trying to do.
Yeah,
Right?
everybody-
And so I got this question for you guys. So, in other sports, golf, tennis, all those, nobody even says anything. You can go straight to pros if you want to. If you qualify, you can make it. You can go. All right. So are you guys? Are you guys? You guys think it's fair that
Here's what I
all
think.
the other sports get a free pass, but
Here's
football
what I
and
think.
basketball
I
not?
think with basketball, I think it's different because people fail to realize you're 18 years old. Yes, can you physically play basketball with these grown men for 82 games? Yes, you can. But then nobody look at the lifestyle. You're 18 years old, so I mean, when you go to these cities, you got all this time on your hand because mostly you practice in the morning. Like you get to like say for instance if Golden State came to play the Pacers, so Golden State would get here today for a game they play tomorrow. So we get here today. They would have practice in the morning from like 11 to 2, shoot around, whatever. So from 2 o'clock until tomorrow morning is your time. Like you ain't got nothing. It's your time. So you get somebody 18 years old, a couple of $1 million in their pocket. The veterans, people think, oh, they got somebody walk them around. Like, no, the veterans gonna do what they gonna do. They're not here to chaperone you. So you 18 years old, you can't go to the club. You can't go out, you can't drink, you can't hang out, you can't. So what do? You stay in your room all day because you can't do nothing. Because you're not old enough to do anything. Or you go online, find them online, whatever, and then that leads to possibly getting in trouble or losing your money, all kind of craziness. So then you're not a professional. Like being a professional athlete, I think people forget that they're pros, that's their job. And at 18 years old, I just don't think that their mind is ready to handle, or they have a support system around them to handle. Now there's some outliers. People gonna say, well, Kobe Bryant. They're gonna say LeBron. They're gonna say Garnett. Like we naming like 3 players out of how many hundreds that went. I can name Jonathan Bender. Remember he played with the Pacers, and y'all was close to the situation. What kind of stuff was he into? Around 18, he didn't pan out.
Injuries.
And he didn't pan out. But imagine if he went to college for 2 years, got better, got his body in shape, learned the game of basketball, and then come out. Zion Williams, people say the one done don't work. Zion Williams is bigger now because he went to Duke than he would have been if he came out of high school.
And he's better. I mean, you know, Zion is one of those every 15 to 20 year players, kind of similar to LeBron. You know, that comes out that is physically gifted. That is like, you know, what do you guys talk about way back in the day? Is he an Anunnaki?
Right, yeah, he is.
Is he an Anunnaki? You know, I mean, he's one of those guys that comes out that's just amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
You know, but it doesn't happen very often. No. I mean, you know, so I was talking about this, and they were like, well, what about Anthony Davis? You know, Anthony Davis is the same as,
we know Anthony Davis because he went to Kentucky for a year. Nobody knew Anthony Davis when he came out of high school.
Exactly. Where LeBron was a phenom. He was a phenom in high school. So is Zion, phenom in high school. You know, like they're different. They're different people. Yeah. And so you know,
there's one or two that's going to stand out that you be like, okay, yeah. There's always one or two.
It makes sense. Yeah.
It makes sense for him, But Zion benefited by going to Duke. He gonna make more money off the court,
for sure,
just for going to Duke.
Except for old boy, what's his name? Michael. What's the Avenatti? Is it Avenatti that's against?
He snitched.
Man, he's telling on everybody, man. He's telling on everybody.
Hey, man, they came to get him. I mean, so now he's got to tell.
I can't say Zion. Nike gave Zion Williams
his mama,
$100,000 for like bogus.
She was working, yeah. She was the
consultant. Nike consultant. What the hell you consulting?
Right, she ain't doing that.
Yeah, $100,000.
But I mean, so you definitely get that. And I want to say the last thing with sports is what's his name, man? Oh boy, that went to the Raiders.
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown. So he's all in his feelings, man, about Juju. Like they said, Juju was the best player last year, and he's all in his feelings.
We watch football a lot, and
yeah.
I remember when
Go Colts.
I remember when Mike Wallace. Remember it was Mike Wallace and Antonio Brown was on the receivers, and Mike Wallace was the one. Pittsburgh was like, you know what? You get out of here because he was just too much of a problem.
He was fast, but yeah, he couldn't.
Too much, but he had problems. He sent him to the Ravens. And Antonio Brown was just a workman.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, man, it's like the light just went off, man, about 3 years ago, man. Well, this dude just felt like, I'm bigger than the game, man. Like, dog, no, you're in a dependent position, bro.
Right. I mean, because, you know, they have proven that they can just move on, you know.
I can throw the Juju all day long.
They can move. I'll throw it to Juju.
I'll throw Jesse James in the middle.
Now, here's the thing, though. Like, the biggest aspect of that, and D-Lo, I wouldn't mind you clocking in on this too, is that they say the quarterbacks, man, have the run of the house. Like they are, you know, they are who they are, and that they just get to kind of run the show.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, just the weight that comes with that particular position and the fact that the spotlight is always on the quarterback. I mean, they've got their ball in their hands every play, and, you know, they're almost got it on to be the coach on the field. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me they've got more leeway.
I
felt that.
Yeah. I think it's a situation. I think it's a situation.
I felt that.
You know,
has anybody ever like farted on the bench with somebody sitting on it?
You felt the rumble?
I felt that. Like,
reverb.
Oh, what is that? All right, you guys ready for something? We're gonna end the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, man, can I add one thing, man? What do you guys think about Joey Gallo and Nomar Mazara's double crotch grab in their
What?
home run
You
celebration?
didn't see it?
I did not see.
They
it.
were just, I mean,
There were a
like
couple
full
of
handful both at the same
Texas
time.
Rangers. One of them hit a home
Like this.
run. Yeah, they
Imagine
ended up
my
doing
hands
their
are two
home
separate
run plate
people.
celebration, all the claps, but then there was a synchronized double crotch grab.
Yep.
Yeah,
That is a part of a
getting the prize.
cool handshake that I don't want no part of that.
It was a
What in the world?
it was a different kind of good game for sure.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Man.
No, that's a later game. Later on.
Maybe
just
it was
increase their
before
pride
the,
fans.
maybe it was before the game.
The
That's why they hit home
LGBTQ will be at
runs.
that game next time.
I'm not going to that game. Who's the Texas Rangers?
The Rangers.
I'm not going. I've been to their stadium. I'm not
You're
going.
gonna change their name to the Texas Long Rangers.
Or maybe Short Rangers. It could be the Short Rangers. Triple Rangers. Hey, all right, you guys ready to play this game?
Yeah.
Yes, let's play it.
Man, everything you ever wanted to ask a white woman, man.
What?
I am here to answer all of your questions.
Everything you ever wanted to ask a white woman, man.
A white woman?
Yeah. You guys ready?
Okay. We asking Ron these questions?
Yeah, well, she's ready. She's ready to answer.
Who else is here? Yes, D-Lo.
Oh, I didn't know if I had to hit the buzzer.
You don't. Oh, I guess I'm not the host of this.
D-Lo, G, you ready? And I tell you, we just fire at random go.
What is it that attracts white women to black men?
Ooh, that's a hard question to answer
No, it's
because
not. It's actually pretty easy.
are you
are
a
you-
white
are you a
woman?
I was just
Let's
messing around.
give us your white woman perspective,
No,
Jesus.
He loves Michael Jackson.
I'll let it ride today.
I think it's kind of this forbidden topic in the white household. It for sure was for me growing up. So I'm gonna go with it's like the bad boy to the extreme.
Do you find that your friends also feel similarly?
My friends do not feel similarly. Most of my white friends stay in the white race while dating.
Do they ask you questions about?
They ask me questions all the time.
Do they consider you a black sheep?
I am not a black sheep. You know what? I'm like a wealth of knowledge to them.
Do they ask you? Is it really as big as it
She's
seems?
an insider.
I'm
She's
an,
the gatekeeper.
I'm an, I, yeah, I
She's
am.
a dossier.
I'm the gatekeeper.
That's a very pointed question.
She's a dossier.
Do they ask you like, is it really that big?
No,
No one's asked you that.
no.
Do they really eat fried chicken all the time? Somebody's asked her about us and chicken.
Yes, for sure. Chicken,
What other
watermelon.
racist? I don't say racist, but racial questions. What other do they questions do you get?
Man, I got all kinds of do they questions.
Okay.
Do they? I mean, I think a lot of the questions come from just pure ignorance. So, like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
do they do drugs? Do they sell drugs? What kind of car do they drive? Does their car have rims? I mean, like all the racial,
Here were my
stereotypical
questions.
things you
Do
can
they
think
drive
of.
Cadillacs?
Oh, here would be my
Yeah,
question would be asked.
spinners.
My rebuttal would be somebody asked me, do they all do drugs? Like, well, don't you smoke weed? Like, don't you do drugs? Like, I don't understand. Like,
hello,
what are the choices?
White people also love fried chicken. Actually, I'm not sure I know anyone that doesn't love fried chicken. So I think we should let that one go. However, white people, if you said purple drink, or if you just asked them what flavor Kool-Aid it was, the answer would be fruit punch from a white person.
It's red,
well,
right?
I know it's red.
Yeah, 'cause red encompasses fruit punch, cherry, strawberry,
Watermelon.
all that, as long as it's red. So do they have a car?
No, that's
Oh,
not a
do
question.
they have
It's like
rims?
what kind of car?
See, that was just my pilgrim friend. What y'all need to realize is y'all need to thank us for setting trends, because your Tahoe that has a TV inside of it that's sitting on your Yukon Denali truck that is sitting on 22-inch rims that's shining with 2 TVs in the back. We did that, yo.
I think that black people are way cooler than white people in setting trends, and
Yeah, we the most
Now,
imitated, the most hated
I-
people on the planet.
I would say most people would not agree to that.
No, it's true.
But I will say, when I get complimented by a black woman, I take it more to heart than when I get complimented by a white woman.
Because
Like, Because I want to be part of the group and I want to be respected. And I feel like as a white girl who dates black dudes, I just feel like maybe black women don't like me because I am in their community and taking the men.
Their dudes.
Yeah, yep. So,
But then when
Is that
when I get complimented by,
is that how you perceive
That's
it?
my perception.
Or is that how you perceive that? That's how they feel.
that's my perception.
So your perception.
No, that's my
is
assumption. It's not
that
my
you
perception. It's
are-
my assumption.
Okay.
It's my assumption that I am disliked by black women because I date black men.
Okay. Can I ask you another question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a secret pilgrim code? Like, let's say that one of us got into an accident with a pilgrim and you happen to be the witness. If we all get called to court, do you automatically have to side with the pilgrim due to pilgrim code?
No. But you do automatically side with your friends, no matter what color they are. So no.
I have a question.
However, if it is a white person and a black person in court and the white person does not know the black person, they're automatically going to assume the black person is wrong. So if there's any sort of testifying for or against, if you don't know that person, they're automatically
also
wrong.
works with black people too.
No, because if it was two white people, it would be different.
No, if there was a black, if I'm on outside and y'all two in court, I'm with him all day long. I mean,
It doesn't happen that way.
I know,
all
but
the
what I'm
time.
saying
I've seen it not happen plenty of
You
times.
think so? I mean, I have the thought that if I go to my house and I turn on my television at night and there's a boxing match on,
Yeah, we both
and
look like that.
and it's a dark skinned person and a light skinned person, I'm going with the dark skinned person because he's closer to my race than the other person. And the reason I say that because if it's a white guy and a black guy, of course I'm going with the brother. But if it's a light Puerto Rican and a dark skinned Puerto Rican, I'm going with the dark skinned guy.
Go for the melanin.
Somebody said that before. They was like, they said, you want to know if you're racist now? Put on a boxing match.
Yeah, and see
who see you
funny.
nationally
I
root
said
for.
that. I
Funny.
said that. That's been my thing. That's been my thing my whole life.
Okay, I got a
always
question.
go against the dark.
Yes.
I got
go
upset
against
with
the dark-skinned
somebody
dude.
recently with this. It was a pilgrim lady. She was talking about her boyfriend took her to Atlanta. And she went to Atlanta, they went to Underground. Which I don't know why everybody go to Underground in Atlanta, like that's the place to go in Atlanta, but it's not. But anyway, so she was like, she was nervous because in Atlanta it was all the black people. And then they went out to, I think, like Cobb County, and that was the first time she saw white people in Atlanta. And she's like, oh my God, I felt better. I seen like white people. And I thought about this for a second. I was like, you know what?
bad.
I said, imagine, no, I said, know how you felt? She said, yeah, wrong black. I said, no, you felt about that? She was like, yeah. I said, that's how we feel every day. I said, every day of our lives, we are surrounded by a bunch of people who don't look like us. We go to work with people who don't look like us. I said, so that little feeling you got about being in Atlanta with all them black people, I said, now think about that for us every single day.
I have to teach a diversity class tomorrow, and I'm going to use that. Can I use that?
Yeah.
I will totally credit you.
Yeah,
That's good.
I mean, it's like, yeah, like, think about that. Like, we at this restaurant,
That's
there's three
good.
of us at this restaurant. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, cute.
Right on time.
Oh, cute.
Could not have happened better.
Bust out a side door.
Like,
Here I am.
I'm here.
I'm here, but I mean that's our everyday life. Our everyday life is surrounded. Like there's nobody look like us.
What is it? In Indianapolis, I looked at it today. 27%. So it's 27% black in Indianapolis. Now, don't get me wrong. It's 27% black, but it's like the 14th largest black population.
Yeah.
So that tells you something. It's only 27%, but it's the 14th largest black population in Indiana. And so, I mean, that's in Indianapolis where we do the Heavy Hitters Radio show.
Is it weird that I'm taking notes over this?
That kind of happens. And so in most schools, they're especially in special education, they're underrepresented, but and all that kind of stuff.
Real quick, I know we're running low on space. The Help Connection, he's a sheriff now, and so we had a conversation the other day because he was officer friendly. I called him. He had to go to the schools. And he was like, man, this little girl broke his heart because it was talking about bullying. So so he was talking about how raise your hand if you've ever been bullied. So everybody's hand went up and was talking about how they're being bullied or whatever in different situations. He was like, man, this little black girl rolls her hand up in the back. And she's like, what if people bully you because of the color of your skin? Like, he was like, man, it just hit him because, again, he can identify.
Yeah.
Because obviously she's in a school with predominantly white people, pilgrims. whatever. And he said there's like a lot of like Indians and different races there, but like she's the only one that's like dark skinned person in that school. And he was like, how do you address that situation, especially when you were speaking what's the word is in mixed company. Like, Ron, that's one thing that I think the lines have kind of been blurred lately, because a lot of words that we use, there used to be a term is you don't use it in mixed company.
Right.
Certain things you just don't do in mixed company. Like
Right.
we were around each other, we use certain language. When you walk in the room, it changes, it's opposed. But now the lines have got kind of
Right. Yeah,
blurred
I
and
think
murky.
that's true.
Blurred and murky, man. But he was just like, and there's an episode of Blackish I wish everybody should watch. If you watch Blackish,
Is it when Bo freaks out over the doll?
no, they forget over the picture. When the daughter took the school pictures, and she was the dark skinned one, and they couldn't see her in the back.
Oh.
So they went on this whole, in our culture, light skin, dark skin. So then they had this whole, how Dre picks on his son because he's light skinned. So naturally you
He
think I'm
picks
soft.
on Bo because she is.
Yeah, he said you
She's
think
mixed.
I'm soft. He said, why does it gotta be soft because I'm light skinned? You know what I mean? Like, you always call me Drake, or you come up with these names like I'm soft just because of the color of my skin. There was a whole episode about just the different, how in our own race, like me, Moose, and D-Lo probably don't have this problem because we're what I like to call polo. We ain't never out of style, and we ain't necessarily never in style. We just consistent.
Okay.
We grew up with the Christopher Williams, the Al B. Sure when light skin was in.
Yeah, when it was strong.
You know what I'm saying? We weren't really affected because we brown.
No, can I say this though? I mean, I would say I had the best of both worlds. Like I think part of my confidence comes from the fact that when I was a young man, Heavy D was rapping and he could dance, and he was overweight. And then as I got to be a young man, Biggie came out, and he was dark skinned, and everybody loved him because he was like the best rapper.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like,
I'm like right in the middle.
In the middle, we
I'm
all
right
in
in
the
the middle of them too, and he could dance, and I mean, so really Heavy D and Biggie made Big Beautiful again.
But think about it.
And the blackness just carried on.
But think about they say we know Al B. Sure. So then come like 95, 96, that's when the DMX, the Tyrese's, so then Wesley Snipes, all those cats came into place. So then all of a sudden, I want a chocolate brother. So then it went the other way. The pendulum swung the other way. So it completely missed us. Like we didn't have a Will Smith. Like I want me a caramel brother like that. It just went from this side to that side. Like we'd never been like that.
After MC Light dropped Roughnecks, it all went to shit for the Lighter Skin Brothers.
We never had. I mean, we was never like the it thing. We was never like the outer thing. We was just like we just here, dog. Like, we just in the middle. We stuck in the middle, man.
We was basic brown.
Basic. You basic brown.
Hilarious, hilarious. Hey man, I'll tell you what. The next time we get together, folks, I definitely want to talk about should you take a test if you want to have babies? If you're gonna be a parent, should you take a test? Should you be able to financially support them? Should you be able to buy them food and provide shelter? What do you guys think about that? Let's talk about that next time. You guys cool with that?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Cool with that.
Hey, Mr. Heavy's Radio Show. This is Moose, A.K. Big House, man.
Hey, man, I'm sorry.
so lucky to be the host of your show.
Magic Johnson has stepped down. Does anybody care?
He's not with the Lakers anymore?
He's done. He stepped down.
Oh, well, that's too loud.
Just saw it
That's too
come
loud.
across the wire.
That's too loud. Hey, for El Jeezy and Baku, man, for DJ Long Green, he's booking. We got
Already?
a booking.
Yeah.
And then the lady of the house, man, the one, the only Run.
MC.
This is Heavy's Radio Show. Remember, we are where you are.
So get comfortable.
Come on.